What happens when a single U.S. decision threatens to shake India's economy, damage its regional influence, and even boost China's power? That's exactly what Donald Trump's latest move on Iran's Chabahar port could mean. And trust me, the fallout is bigger than ye think. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into how India is caught in the crossfire of Trump's sanctions strategy. This one's got economics, geopolitics, and some pretty serious consequences. Watch this video all the way through. You'll want the full picture. And hey, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We also publish more detailed news breakdowns on our website, so you can read them there anytime. Link in the description box below. Donald Trump stood up recently and said something that sounded reassuring. I am very close to India. I am very close to the Prime Minister of India. We have a very good relationship. Sounds nice, right? But actions speak louder than words. And on September 29th, Trump's administration is officially revoking the sanctions waiver for Iran's Chabahar port. From that date on, anyone operating, financing, or even servicing the port will face the same treasury restrictions as other Iranian entities. For India, that's not just a political headache. It's a direct hit to strategy, trade, and influence across Central Asia. So why does this port matter so much? The Chabahar port sits at the mouth of the Gulf of Oman. People call it the Golden Gate because it unlocks access to landlocked Afghanistan and the rest of Central Asia. For India, it's a game changer. Why? Because it lets them bypass Pakistan. That's huge. Every Indian government since Atal Bihari Vajpayee's 2001 Iran visit has had its eye on this project. Agreements were signed, cranes were shipped, and billions in investments were lined up, all because Chabahar gives India a direct, independent route into Afghanistan and beyond. And this isn't just theory. Chabahar has already delivered 2.5 million tons of wheat, 2,000 tons of pulses, vaccines during COVID, even 40,000 liters of pesticides to fight locusts. India turned Chabahar into a lifeline, not just a port. Here's the twist. Back in 2018, Trump's own administration granted an exception for Chabahar under the Iran Freedom and Counter-Proliferation Act. Why? Because it supported Afghanistan's reconstruction. It was one small carve-out in a sea of sanctions. But now, with Afghanistan under Taliban rule since 2021 and Iran still defying Washington, the White House says circumstances have changed. So Trump signed an order. No more exceptions. No more special treatment. Maximum pressure on Iran. Period. Think about the irony here. The very port that Washington once protected because it helped Afghanistan is now being punished because Afghanistan fell to the Taliban. Same place, totally different lens. This decision hits India on multiple fronts. First, the money. New Delhi has already invested $120 million in equipment and extended a $250 million credit line for Chabahar-related projects. Losing that access means sunk costs and wasted resources. Second, the trade routes. Chabahar isn't just about Afghanistan. It's a key link in the international North-South transport corridor, a massive project connecting the Indian Ocean and Persian Gulf to Russia and even Europe. If India can't fully use Chabahar, its bigger trade dreams suffer too. Third, and maybe most dangerous, is geopolitics. Chabahar helps India counter China's growing presence at Pakistan's Gwadar port. Without Chabahar, Beijing has an open field to tighten its grip on the region. That's the part that should make New Delhi very nervous. And here's where things get complicated. On one hand, Trump says he's close with India. On the other hand, he's hitting New Delhi with 50% tariffs, 25% on Russian oil imports, plus taxes on Indian goods. Add Chabahar sanctions to the pile, and you've got a friendship that feels more like a test. And let's not forget Iran. India has to balance its US ties with its historical relationship with Tehran. Sanctions make that balancing act nearly impossible. So India is stuck between two partners it can't afford to lose. So why pull the plug now? Washington argues that the waiver made sense when Afghanistan was under an elected government. But with the Taliban in power and Iran accused of funneling money into destabilizing activities, the US says the exception no longer fits. But is this about Iran? Or is it also about keeping India on a tighter US leash? That's the question analysts are asking. Zoom out for a second. This isn't just about a port. It's about whether India can stand on its own in Central Asia, or whether it gets boxed in by US policies on one side and Chinese influence on the other. Remember, geopolitics is often a chess game. Right now, India's piece is Chabahar. Without it, the board tilts toward Beijing. And once ye lose ground in this region, it's very hard to win it back. So, what does this mean going forward? For India, Trump's move is a wake-up call. Depend too much on Washington, and your investments can get wiped out overnight. Depend too much on Tehran, and ye risk alienating your strongest partner. It's a classic lose-lose scenario. Unless India finds a way to reframe its strategy fast, it could lose billions, lose influence, and lose its counterbalance to China, all because of a single American policy shift. Which leaves us with a question. Is Trump protecting American interests, or is he pulling the rug out from under India at the worst possible time? If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, we publish more detailed stories on our website, so check them out if you want to dive deeper. Until next time, stay informed, stay sharp, and keep questioning the headlines.